Less than 2 weeks left until the premiere of Avatar: The Way of Water. The second part of the cult bestseller will tell us about the continuation of the story of Jake Sully, who in the previous part became part of the Na'vi people. After assuming the form of an avatar, Sully becomes the leader of the Na'vi people and takes on the mission of protecting new friends from mercenary businessmen from Earth. Now he has someone to fight for, with Jake, his beautiful beloved Neytiri. When heavily armed Earthlings return to Pandora, Jake is ready to fight back. Did you know that Cameron rented the MBS Media Campus, formerly known as Manhattan Beach Studios, in Southern California for a period of 5 years to shoot the film? The site features an aggressive water conservation program, the use of environmentally friendly cleaners and paints, and a number of other green programs. Cameron installed solar panels in the studio and shot both films using solar energy. The cost of installing the appropriate equipment cost the director $5 million, but the budget of the film itself has changed a lot and was recently revealed. The total cost of the picture ended up being about $400 million, which is slightly more than the budget of the first part of the picture. Despite a similar budget of $237 million for the first installment, the cult film managed to gross $3 billion worldwide and topped the bestseller list for many years. Do you think the second part will be able to bypass the first in terms of fees? Write in the comments. Galaxy Movie is with you and we are going on a journey to the stars. Galaxy Movie. Despite the huge interest from the audience, James Cameron tries to keep the intrigue until the very premiere, so there are very few photos and videos from the filming. But we managed to find some great shots that show how the filming of this incredible film went. Huge pools, underwater cameras, and lots of CGI. Avatar in 2009 made a real revolution, showing what computer graphics are capable of. And The Path of Water will not be an exception. The last trailer released shows the incredibly beautiful Pandora, but now James Cameron will show us the underwater world of this beautiful planet. But how is such a graph created? Let's take a look at some footage from the shoot. This is how, for example, they filmed the scene with Jake choking. Instead of his avatar, he was raised by 2 people in green suits. CGI graphics are one of the greatest achievements of mankind. Thanks to the green background and the computer, you can create the most vivid fantasies out of your head. Pandora's Fall. An incredibly beautiful and large-scale scene, like many others, was filmed in a pavilion against a green background. To capture motion, marker points are used, which are further processed on a computer. The mechanism is so precise that it captures even the slightest movement of the actor's eyes, which is why the characters on the screen look so natural. Do you think computer graphics will ever be able to completely replace actors? Write your opinion in the comments. Drinking water. One of the most basic processes in human life is water consumption. Do not do without this, and the inhabitants of Pandora, Zoe Saldana, who plays Neytiri, recalls that it was incredibly fun to play this process. Green dots were applied mainly to the mouth, nose and eyes, because these parts of the face are most involved during drinking. James Cameron ordered a bottle of water to be taken, and Zoe Saldana acted as holding a flower. The bottle also sank from it, as water poured from a source of water in wildlife. Pretty funny, right? Animals. James Cameron wanted to emphasize that Pandora is a living and inhabited planet, where you can find completely unusual and fantastic creatures. Na'vi have the ability to unite with them, feel their fear, pain or desires, thanks to the tail. It was very important to emphasize that animals have their own ferocious nature. Therefore, in order to curb their power, you need to try hard. For Cameron, it was important to show that the heroes have to maintain balance while sitting on flying animals, and the actors at that moment were interfered with by the staff of the Cameron team, constantly pushing the structure in different directions. But for real animals from the earth, there was a place on the set. The horses played their roles beautifully. James Cameron loves these animals very much, so it would not have been possible without them. In addition to being beautiful creatures, they are also perfectly trainable. According to the stories of the authors, there were no problems with the behavior of the horses, except for their appetite, because filming can sometimes last for days. Emotions. Showing emotions on a computer model is a tricky business. Each model is dozens of layers, textures, and shaders, which in the end allow us to see an amazing result. But in our opinion, not a single computer is able to replace the real and live acting of actors. Let's see what Cameron has to offer us in Avatar 2. Kisses. Love and feelings are an important part of the story about Jake and his beloved. Therefore, there were no kisses. It is quite difficult to do something like this without a real kiss. but in real life, according to the stories of Zoya Saldana, the tension in the air was quite strong, but no matter how hard it was for the actors, we still saw an amazing kiss scene. Thanator. This is a huge top terrestrial predator of Pandora, living in tropical forests. The name Thanator is not accidental. Thanatos is the name of the ancient Greek god of death, who takes the dead to the underground kingdom of Hades, and a monstrous predator. 2.5 meters high and 5.5 long, almost twice as long and 10 times heavier than the largest Amur tiger, it fits perfectly. When Jake Sully first ventures into the forest in his avatar body, he is confronted by a hungry Thanator that attacks the Titanetherium from behind Jake but misses the prey and decides to switch to the avatar. Jake manages to break away by jumping into the river, but loses contact with his comrades and is forced to stay overnight in the jungle. Motion capture. Climb a mountain, jump off a small ledge, or fall off an animal. All of this requires a motion capture suit. Unique CGI technology allows you to show the most dangerous moments of the film safely for the actors. Tree of Souls. The oldest willow on Pandora, the main shrine of the Na'vi, with the strongest connection to Ava. This is, in a way, Pandora's point of power, a giant ancient willow, more than 3,000 years old and growing at the bottom of a stone well. One thing is certain, the Well of Souls is a special place and no Na'vi will go there without a good reason. Iron Steel. An exact copy of the costume from the film was built in real life and was even on the set. There were also parts for control, which were worn on the hands. Everything is like in the movie. Of course, active parts were added by graphics. For example, hands. After all, hardly anyone would want to see such a car in real life. It sounds dangerous. Rituals. An important part of Na'vi's life is rituals. A group of actors gather and begin to dance. From the outside, it looks funny. The screen is breathtaking. Helicopters. In addition to conventional helicopters, specially designed for filming, small structures were also used. In them, in addition to the seats, fans were installed that imitate the flow of air. It was fun for the actors to play such roles, moving from a real helicopter to a small iron box with a fan. But the costumes are very hot, so in our opinion, the idea with the fan is just great. As you can imagine, making a film is a lot of work. The CGI graphics in the first Avatar rocked the world and brought in the best-selling movie in cinema history. We showed you only a part of what the film crew and graphics specialists had to go through. But even such a grain of information surprised us personally. What will surprise Avatar 2? We also already understood. If in the first part the emphasis was on the forest and its inhabitants, then in the second part we will smoothly move to the underwater kingdom of Pandora, which will clearly surprise us. People will again want to capture this territory full of resources, and the Na'vi people will try to protect their land. Galaxy Movie was with you. Subscribe and leave your comments about the expectations from the second part. Galaxy Movie.